Good afternoon, Antonio. How's everything going for you? And please give an introduction about yourself.
Hi there, it's a pleasure to meet you and to be here. I am Antonio. People in the real world may know me as the Italian G. That's the nickname I go by. I joined at the end of November or so, and I already met so many individuals like-minded as me, and I I'm tunnel envision in the freelancing campus out of all of them, which is the one I found the most beneficial for where I'm currently at, which is building an income on my own terms, so without relying on a boss or the usual 9 to 5.
Right. Okay. So a few things to go into there. First thing is Italian G is quite an interesting nickname. So where did you get that idea for that?
Oh well, that's when I everything even from the teenage years when I was young. Every group of friends I engaged with, I always ended up being the alpha, the leader. Everybody would just copycat me. I don't know why. I sometimes I just stay too low key, but I don't know. I just happen to influence the friends I hang around with.
Okay.
So
Cool.
seeing Andrew having the top G nickname that can inspire me to put the Italian G. Since I didn't meet a lot of Italians in the real world yet.
Okay. And yeah, it has a good ring to it. So good stuff. Now you're saying freelancing was a good fit for you. Why did you choose specifically freelancing again instead of any other campuses? Did you already have a skill that you're looking to monetize now, or did you learn something through the freelancing campus?
So it was a mixture of both. I was trying to polish my skill, which is advertising and done for you services for businesses, like marketing specifically. But I didn't know how to market myself, and in that way, the professors professors lessons in the freelancing campus allowed me to structure an offer and market myself doing the outreach and closing clients.
Yep. And what was the process for you to close those clients? How was it to land that first one? Were you nervous there? Did everything go well? Like,
All
what
right,
was the process?
I followed one of the ways the professor explained, which was to try to make use of your network. And I just went door to door to businesses asking if they needed any help. And professors even, suggest to do it for free for a testimonial. But I just went for it and asking for a low fee just to get them used to pay me. And I also needed to make some money back, to get the snowball effect.
Hmm.
And just, I think I landed my first meeting. I landed, and that was my first client. So that gave me the confidence to keep doing the door to door because living in Italy, all the business owners they don't even have a Facebook account, most of them. So you need to sell them door to door, and that's something. Even if I'm kind of the extroverted side, it's still like quite hard to bring yourself to do that. But it's a win after a win. It brings you to do it.
Interesting. Okay. So, door to door. So, what was the process again to land that first client? So, you came in to their business, like in
Yes,
person. You speak to
yes.
what the person at the front desk, ask for the manager, or what?
Well, no, like I mainly work with restaurants,
Okay.
and here most of them work in the business. So I just go there and I ask if the owner is there. And since I did in my town, I even know him. Like I would recognize if it was actually him or her. So I just went, 5 p.m. before the restaurant starts getting clients, so they will have, those 5 to 10 minutes to talk with me, and I just tell them I would do some of research, some a bit of research about their business, how it was going, and I was telling them, look, I'm just starting with this kind of business, and I would like to help you with this, with this. We could do this and this. We can try out, and if you're not happy, we can just leave it at that. And that was it. Like I closed them in that way. They appreciated my the way I was talking to them, which was just helping them rather than selling them something.
Hmm. Okay. Very nice. And how has that progressed for you?
So this first client is still on a retainer basis with me, and after that I leverage this work, this client, to, when I was presenting myself to other businesses, I could say I'm working with this business already, so I could even charge a bit more because I have some social proof, and that led me to close a consulting client which needed. He already had a marketing team, but they were all over the place. So they needed a consultant to, give them a strategy on how to go forward. And yes, that paid me. That's actually the biggest client I got so far. Everything started in the last 3 months. So that was it. I gave around 20 hours of consultancy to this marketing team. And yes, that's still now. Yes, I ended the consultants with him around a week ago or so.
Okay, so in that time, how much have you earned?
Just over 2,000 euros.
Okay. And you're saying, was that just for one of the clients, the 20 hours of work, or was that overall?
No, that's just overall. The consultant client was the biggest piece of the cake. It's around 1,300
Hmm.
because they I could leverage that all the value I was giving them. They would make use of it in the long term, even though I was not with them anymore. So I
So
managed
that
to
was for
change.
20 hours of work, you got about 1,300, is it euros?
Yes, it is.
Nice. I mean, I'd say that's quite a good paycheck there. So congratulations.
Thanks.
And how different is the material within, let's say, the freelancing campus from what you've seen compared to what's out there on the internet?
The biggest difference would be the chats that you can compare yourself with other students, beginners, intermediate, and advanced. There's captains, which are like people who already make significant progress, and so they are just below the professors, and they will give you feedback on everything. So if you're just always proactive and annoying them and doing smart questions, because you don't want to waste their time, of course,
Mhm.
then you're gonna learn tons that you wouldn't learn anywhere, even paying $1,000 in courses.
Okay, very cool. So how different is the average day now compared to before you joined the real world?
Oh, so it's actually quite significantly different. I now have a structured to-do list, a daily task list I make before going to bed each night, and before that it was just not even. I would just make a goal in a month period, and then I would just that would just make me, half assess it and just not go about it. The discipline wasn't really there. Now I'm forcing myself not to skip training, not to skip working, not to skip outreaching anything because it's my to-do list.
Hmm. Okay, good. And what would you say was the biggest challenge you faced when you were first starting out? Maybe outside of trying to acquire clients, what other challenges did you face?
Okay, so not that big of a hurdle was choosing the campus at the start, like at the very start, because of the tons of information that's inside of that, and I just took my time to look through the basic of every campus to see what I could do with it, and then that led me to choose the freelancing campus, as said previously. But the biggest hurdle was to actually apply all the lessons taught from the professors because it gives when you learn stuff you get false sense of confidence, but
Hmm.
until you actually apply it then it's just words in the air.
Right, right, right. Yeah, need to take action because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You can have all the knowledge in the world. If you're not taking action, there's nothing that you can do with it. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of lessons learned, what would you say were the most impactful ones from your time within the real world?
Not to delay, like to delay instant gratification for for the long term like rewards. So don't skip the cold calls, don't skip the door to door sale. That's just my case of what I'm doing daily. And because it is starting already to pay dividends, and it's gonna, I believe I'm gonna try my best, and I'm gonna make that it's gonna pay even bigger dividends going forward.
Hmm. Okay. And any other lessons that have stood out to you, or would you conclude there for that?
Another big lesson, which is also influencing my personal life, would be taking accountability for everything that happens around you. Like in a chess game, if you make a blunder, or even if just your opponent is way stronger than you and you just always make the best move, but you still lose, that means you just need to get better, study it, and rinse and repeat.
Okay, cool. So, what do your parents think about what you're doing? Are they supportive? Do they think you should be doing something else?
They have had some issues when I dropped out of college, to go, like, it wasn't just I dropped out before joining the real world, before even knowing Andrew Tate and what gas you were building, but I didn't fit in the 9 to 5, in the study 9 to 5 as well, and they started leaving me alone when I started bringing in some results. And now that they see me working, they see me putting the effort. Since I'm working with business, they know too, because they're in my area here, local area. That's allowing me, they are easing off the grip on me to go back study at the university. So it's
Hmm.
even bigger of a drive for me to actually get results,
Right.
even, to make them proud
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, with a lot of parents, I say that is the case. They just want the best for you, and they think the safest
Yeah.
route would be best. But if you can prove to them that you can get results going an alternative route, then they'll usually be supportive as long as you show them results.
Yes.
So,
I mean, they're both maths teachers, so they're pretty logical. So they
mhm.
need data to back up my
Right,
views.
decision,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Completely fair. Okay, so how do you see this scaling for you? What plans do you have for future? If you want a time frame, can speak about 6 months to 1 year, or feel free to give a different time span if you want.
Okay, so my objective is to reach the 10K a month mark before the end of the year, so around December, and that will allow me to, because my service delivery, I'm building in a way that that can be copy and pasted for each client, so I can bring in people and teach them how to do it, and I can scale it in that way, so I can bring in more clients without actually working on all of them.
Hmm.
So getting off of the business and being above it, kind of.
Okay. Any other goals outside of financial?
I think it's gonna be starting my career as an amateur boxer, and
Interesting. So,
yeah,
how long
I'm
have you
gonna
been
start.
boxing, and what's the decision to start that career?
I think it's more of a kind of self confidence, being more confident in myself. I never get into fights, but knowing that you can defend yourself and the people you love around you, give I like every day, every lesson with the coach, every time I learn something more, I always feel more confident. And I love just the respect there is between fighters, even if you don't know each other.
Hmm. Very interesting. Okay. So, I mean, that came out of nowhere. Didn't expect that. Yeah, you were doing boxing on the side. So, is there any other area of your life you're working on? So, you're saying boxing for fitness, doing your consultancy for financially. Yeah, is there anything else that we've missed?
Oh no, that's just my daily life. I'm training. I'm working on myself physically, mentally, and financially. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so good. And where would you say that mindset came from, wanting to have such a disciplined life and not doing what other people your age are doing?
Well, ever since I dropped out of college around a year ago, I I had a talk with my parents, and we set an objective. And if I didn't reach that, I would need to go back to uni. And I realized before joining the real world that I wasn't really getting anywhere, but I knew I couldn't survive following the rat race. So, like when I started seeing content of Andrew, and like I was like, it's really in my mind. So then all the info I got there that just helped me a ton, just saved my life. I got a shortcut for it. Yeah.
Good, good. That's good to hear. And what kind of an impact would you say Tate has had on you personally?
I love all the controversial things he says, and I can, don't I don't get offended by the way he says. I just listen to what everybody says. I'm studying people from outside. I've always been, perspicacious, and it was just it just clicked. I heard him the first time, the second time, then I just like, dude, this guy is talking my mind in better English words than I could, and I just have to join. It was just for $50. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do that investment, I don't know what else to tell you.
Right. Okay, so on that note, I'm happy to end off with one last question. For people who are unsure about joining the real world, maybe they're thinking it's a scam for those $50, what advice would you have to them?
I wasted money in my youth. I was like you, probably. And if you just think that it's even less than a monthly subscription at the gym or just 2 nights in a row at the club, and you can't do that investment, I think I like nobody can help you but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's my, yeah, you need to take it on yourself.
Right. So, Antonio, thank you for your time. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
You can find me on TikTok. I answer all the DMs there. It's A2L Money Moves. The content is in Italian, but I will answer you if you DM me there.
Cool. So I'll add that to the description of the video. And I look forward to doing a follow-up with you in 3 months or so to see how everything has scaled for you. And until then, I wish you all the best.
Pleasure to meet you.